Hello, my name is DC. I'll be giving you a match analysis for Qatar versus Russia. All right, let's get into this one. All right, so this one, it's a quick one, but this is a third man run. He has the ball, probably holds it up, passes it to his teammate. So what it does is that he takes out one man. I don't know if I think he's in a state of shock, but I do feel we could afford to be a few yards deeper because okay, we assume he is here, right? So if he follows him, I don't really see why he would push there because he's going back towards his own goal. But good, oh sorry about that. But good on him for identifying the space and making himself available to make that run. This is probably something they've done tons of times in training. But you know what? Good on them because this is a really well placed ball. It's loopy, yeah, but he gets the contact, and then look at how easy the separation comes off. Let me play it back a bit. So just keep an eye on the. Okay, so number 17. Okay. You know, we'll see. We'll know who was running. All right, so his run starts here. He was ahead of him, but as you can see, the further we go, the further the distance increases. So at this point, the defender should be running across, but oh, so what it was is that he was initially in front of the attacker as that ball was played there. His eyes was on the ball, didn't focus on the attacker, and the attacker, I'm going to assume he's very quick because he got that extra yard on him. Because look at this, they just can't keep up. He's really quick, and that's why sometimes you just have to just drop a few yards deeper if you know someone's quicker than you, so that you get those few, is it footsteps or yards, so that you can set yourself so you can probably shoot him off or get to the ball first. But good control on him. I've seen other people take the ball somewhere else. Runs forward, puts in a lovely ball, and this is filthy. Goalkeeper, no chance. And I would also be feeling myself if I scored a goal like that. I really would. Once again, third man run. Look at number 17. So you see, number 3, look at where he's looking. His attention is here. Number 17, yeah, he's here, but he's making that run. He's just keeping an eye so he can make that run here. So you see that? His focus is on the ball. Number 17, he's making that run. So number 3, he was too flat-footed. Number 28 is in a very good position in a way that he can turn and run. He's already on the turn as he's going to make that footstep. Number 3 has to turn, then run. It might seem trivial or just something minuscule, but those small margins is the difference between someone getting space for a run and something else happening. So if we play it, you see that? And number 17 is quick. I will. Number 28, yeah, anyway, not much you could do, but this is a lovely ball and a lovely flick on. You don't see many goals like that, do you? All right, next goal. Now this one, it does frustrate me a bit, right? All right, he plays it out wide. So this is concerning. No, let me use this other one. This is the goalpost, right? Boom. This is the other goalpost, right? Boom. I don't like using this because it doesn't. All right, just for this. Okay, it's just so concerning because I know that they are tight because if you look at this, one, two, and okay, let's assume that's a 3v something there. He's out there, which is okay because the ball has to travel. Then there's two here. So now what are these three doing here? Why didn't they also drop back? Because if one, two, three, four, five, six, seven, eight, nine. Okay, maybe they could drop back a bit deeper, but the amount of space this player has to whip in across is concerning. Look, he traps it. He doesn't even look like he's in a hurry. He is not in a hurry at all. And then if we notice here, see him? See this gap that's here? Watch how the gap moves. And look at the Russian player here. All the time in the world. That's a really good cross. The gap has increased, people. The gap has increased. He's very casual on that. Very casual. Let's just play back a bit just to see how casual he was. Somewhere here, right? In fact, matter of fact, yeah. You see the guy with the hair? Look, he sees it. He is in a very good position there. He can run or shot towards his teammate, but look at what he does. Look at that. Look, 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 look. He's not even bothered. Yeah, this second defender here, he could have taken that responsibility. I don't know why he was covering up for the other side. because he should have definitely been aware of what's happening here. But for him, he's just walking. Keeper, no chance. That's a really good header, though. Anyway, let's head on to the next goal. But that's, I mean, the way he's walking. All right, so now this one, I thought that, all right, so he is trying to make a last ditch tackle, but he doesn't do it in the right way because it's like he makes his body smaller by turning to the side, and it's easier for the person to get past him. I know he's not trying to foul him, but it does make it easier to get past him. Number 23 seems to be a bit shocked. The Russian player does fall down, and at this point, things seem somewhat okay. Because, yeah, you could say he's free, but he could run towards the ball in case it goes towards his direction. He is the main danger here, number 27. And yeah, I don't really want to blame the player that tried to make a last ditch tackle, even though it was not done too well. All right, number 7 for Russia gets the ball. He takes the shot. Keeper spills it. I'm not a goalkeeper, but I do know that sometimes the goalkeeper may have that slight control on where the ball deflects. I don't know. Maybe he could have taken this out for a corner. I don't want to be too judgmental because a goalkeeper's job is very, very hard. And then he follows it up. Number 13. It's a nice chip. It's a really nice chip. Yeah. So I thought it was just bad defending on that other player, but then I saw this other angle because at that point it was like an instant thing. So watch number 20. Watch number 23 here. And then okay. But one can definitely afford to step up. Yeah, one can okay, so he can afford to step up. I don't know what he's doing here. He should be he should be there because he isn't marking anyone. Why is there such a disconnect? Because if he just drops that deeper and then there are two of them here, probably he dropped. Okay, I don't want to be too judgmental on the Qatar team because there's a difference in quality. But defending shouldn't be this hard. I mean, okay, you got the back four there, somewhat okay. Sorry about that. Where's the he? Oh, all right. So yeah. All right. So she can't even tell. All right. So this part here, I'm not gonna bother too much about it. But what is he doing there? That's my question. What is he doing there? What is he doing all alone there? He's better off dropping and helping his teammates out. And they could definitely be a bit more deeper because, hey, look, I don't want to make it seem as if it's a bad idea to go and press for the ball, but there's a lot of uncoordination going here because there's a complete disconnect. Reason why I say that is let me just get this. Oh, that's nice. All right, so these are the two lines, right? Then look at this. Look at this. Three Russian players unmarked. We're not going to really include him, but yeah, three Russian players unmarked and have the space in the midfield. That's not something that you want. So yes, this would be okay, but the problem, there's too much of a disconnect. So you're better off helping a defender stay a bit deeper. Maybe you could have one man that have one individual that is forward so that he gets on the counter, but this is just too much. It's just too much. You either do one thing or the other. But him, I'm still in his case. What are you doing all the way out there? Mm. All right, so look at number 23. Look at what he does. He stops. And here he has a chance to put in he even has a chance just to make that tackle for the sake of conceding a free kick, but he doesn't. Look at the energy that he comes out with. Because initially number 23 was here. And to be honest, I'm not going to blame him because there's no cover at all because there's four players here. It's two separate teams, not one cohesive unit. Because it's better they drop deeper or they press together. Not the back line decides to be deeper and the front line is a bit ahead. It does not work. You just invite space for your midfield to be overrun. So here, he drops it down, right? And then look at him. He's anticipating the 1-2. He's anticipating the ball would be passed here. And this is why I always say, if you're going to commit, make sure that you're forcing the player to take the ball to the side. That's what you want to do. Because it wouldn't make sense for you to mark him and then he has a free pass to go. Never, always avoid this. No, no, no. Always, as much as you can, try to avoid the opponent. How can I say, creating that space where your opponent can go straight through. You're better off. Yes, he might pass it, but it's better off for him to be, at this particular area because it means he takes another step and there's somebody that can cover for you. And he is still here. So he stops. He was anticipating the pass, but he should have just gone for the man. And because he's gone up, he leaves that space for his teammate, for the Russian player, sorry. And then there's another. I mean, how come? No, 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 no. How come? Four players around him, but none of them can do anything. What's that? Anyway, let's move on a bit. He Oh, okay, so he does get a touch. Yeah, yeah, okay, I didn't see it properly from that angle. He does get something, but it deflects, or it's a horrible, how can I say, is what's the 50-50, whereby you get part of the ball, but you lose it at the same time. And then number 23, I think he just decides to kick it. And I don't know if it's the Russian player that touches the ball, number 23. And then here, he has a free shot to go. The keeper does okay with the stance. And then here, watch as all the Qatar player just gives up. You see that? That's a difference. He stopped running. The Russian player was ahead of him. Yeah, I know it's one of those, deflections. You're not really expecting it, but you always gotta stay sharp, stay frosty. Okay, let me head on to the next goal. Somewhere here. All right, so Qatar have the ball, right? And yeah, it's on a counter, but Russia they can really still deal with this. Now, you see what I mean when there's a disconnect. So it's one of those. If number three is here, I don't think this player does what he will eventually do. I don't think he will do what he eventually does because number three provides that space for this player to run into. I don't know. Yes, you can get a yard, but there's also a thing whereby if the team is deciding to play high, like a very high press, or not really press, sorry, but a high line, you have to commit to it. Whether you're slow or fast, you just have to commit to it and trust that you get the person, so you catch the person offside. Because look at this pass. And number You know what? If he stays, if he was in line with his other defenders, this goal does not. Russia don't concede this goal. They really don't. He just considered way too much space. And then the Qatar player here, he takes it. He has all the time in the world. He can do whatever he wants. He picks his teammate out lovely. And then number three, okay, you decided to take a few yards back so that you could set yourself up. But then look at what happens. Look at the Qatar player. Look at the way the Russian players are. They open up this gap. No proper communication between the two. Because number seven can see him. I'm assuming he's an attacker, but still, that's too easy. It really is. Yeah, it is a good ball, but just look at this. Because at this point, number three should really be. Yes, I know that he's looking forward, but he really should be in a position whereby, okay, he should just focus here. Whatever happens here is whatever happens, but he should put his focus on trying to stop the run of the person that he considered space so he could catch up to. And then number seven, he can see what's happening. He can definitely see this attacker coming, or I don't know if he's an attacker, midfielder. I'm not sure the task squad. And look at it. They watch him. They watch him run into the middle, and this is a lovely ball. It's such a lovely ball, and then boom, easy finish. That's okay. That was just a moment of very bad defending. Number three is the reason this goal gets conceded. Let's see facial language or body language. Yeah, they don't show us enough. Let's get on to the last goal of the match. All right, so here's Russia, right? They have the ball, and he skips past one. I don't know if it's on a yellow card, but you're better off fouling him. And then he shrugs off one. And then this is one thing I don't like because essentially this is a 3v1. Yeah, I know there's him, but let's just focus on this little box here. It's a 3v1, right? And then no one really puts that emphasis on putting in a tackle. They're near him, but they don't want to do anything. And then that's what happens. He was in the best position to try and either barge him or just try put in a charcoal just to confuse him. And then this is what makes me even more frustrated because look at this cluster of players. This is a 5-on-2, but yet they still get outplayed. Because if you have numbers, you're better off just allowing maybe one or two people to try to get the ball, even though they get dribble past, it's okay because you provide the cover. Because there's no point on having all these many players behind, and yet you're not going to use them. So no one is going to put in a challenge. That's a lovely back heel. That's filthy. Takes everyone off by surprise. He sells the goalkeeper. I do feel he dives too easily, and that's a good goal. But very questionable defending from Qatar. And also the goal that Russia scored too, also questionable defending. Otherwise, it's been my match analysis for Russia. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next match analysis.